there's a lion in my cornflakes. If you ever see this on a packet of cornflakes, ignore it. You should see what happened when we didn't. Me and my brother Dan made umpteen trips to the supermarket and spent a whole year's pocket money on cereal. It took us ages to cut out all the coupons. Mum was so mad she made us eat cornflakes for breakfast, lunch and tea. She said we'd have nothing but cornflakes until they were all gone. That could take forever. And she said there'd be no more pocket money until we'd eaten up every last boring crunchy flake. But we didn't mind. We really wanted a free lion. We could take it for walks, ride it to school and use it to open up tin cans. Mind you, it seems everyone else had the same idea. Poor postman. We waited and waited for our free lion to arrive, but there was no lion on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. Thursday, no lion. Friday, no lion. Saturday, still no lion. Even worse, by the time Sunday came, everyone else had theirs. How unfair is that? Then on Monday, a delivery truck arrived. We were so excited. But 1, it wasn't a lion. 2, they sent it next door by mistake. And 3, it went ballistic in Mr. Harper's backyard. It wasn't our fault. But Mum went bonkers. She made us apologise to Mr. Harper and tidy up. It was awful. We had a grizzly bear, a grumpy mum and absolutely no free lion. We wrote to the cereal people and complained, and they wrote back. Dan and Eric, Pink House, Hilly Hill, Bookland, HG5 9TL. Dear Eric and Dan, sorry about the grizzly bear, but we ran out of lions. Please accept this crocodile instead. Yours sincerely, Mr. Flaky. P.S. Handle with care. A crocodile? Dan said. We didn't eat all those cornflakes for a cranky old crocodile. And guess what? The crocodile spends all its time in the bathroom, so no one else could get in. Dad went nuts. He made us scrub the bath while he telephoned the cereal people. Sorry, they said. We'll sort it out straight away. We asked for a lion, not a grizzly bear, not a bathroom-hogging crocodile, and definitely not a whacking great gorilla. But that's exactly what we got. It took an immediate fancy to Dad's car. No! He was not impressed. Right, that's it, he fumed. Everyone in. I'm going to give those cereal people a piece of my mind. The cereal people said sorry again, and they really had run out of lions. They said that we could keep the whacking great gorilla, the bathroom hogging crocodile, and the very grizzly bear, but they also gave us a lifetime supply of cornflakes. Finally, Dad was happy, but Mum wasn't, and we certainly weren't. You can't take a packet of cornflakes for a walk. Cornflakes won't get you to school in style. Can cornflakes help you open a tin of tomatoes? Not on your Nelly. But hang on a minute. A crocodile is the meanest can opening machine I've ever seen. A grizzly bear can walk for miles and miles and miles. And there can't be a better way of arriving at school than this. So don't ever bother saving up for a lion. It's not worth the trouble. And besides, everyone's got one. But a free tiger? Just imagine.
Hi, so today we are going to have a go at writing some instructions. Now there are obviously some bits that we're going to need in order to do that, but we are going to have a go at writing a full set of instructions. So you will need something to write with and something to write on, and we are attempting to write a fair few sentences. So you'll need something that has enough space for that. The first thing that we will need to remember in order to do this is imperative verbs. So imperative verbs are bossy verbs. They're the verbs that tell the person what to do, and they're the ones that come generally at the beginning of a command. So the sentence type that we will use today is commands, and they generally start with an imperative, a bossy verb. So let's play a quick game first. Let's see in 30 seconds how many imperative verbs we can write down. Are you ready? Okay, then let's go. How many imperative verbs can you write down within 30 seconds? 30 seconds is not a very long time at all. In fact, we are nearly halfway through that already. How many can you get? So think about things that you do, because that will almost certainly help you with this. And then once you've got one, sometimes you can also get an opposite or something that's similar within there. Okay, I'll give you time to write one more and stop. How did you get on? In 30 seconds, I managed to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I managed to write 13. Should we have a look at them? I had go, stir, climb, chop, jump, fold, cut, skip, run, stand, sit, stop, and pour. I was obviously in between multiple places in my head. There are lots there that are kitchen based, but then there are also some there that are not. So those are the types of words that we are going to use at the start of our sentences today. Okay, that was a good recap. Well done. So when it comes to writing a set of instructions, first thing we need is a title. What are we writing a set of instructions for? Now, we could write a set of instructions for anything, but let's write one that we probably have shared experience of, that we probably all know how to do. So let's write a set of instructions for how to brush your teeth. So at the very top of your page, that is what we will want to write. How to brush your teeth. That goes at the top of our page, and that is our title. Now, sometimes that title is underlined really neatly with a ruler. But that's our title. That's what we're aiming to do. Then we need to write, we can't really use the word ingredients because we're not baking something, but we do need stuff. And we can't just write stuff because that's not very formal. So instead we are going to use the word equipment. So equipment, equipment. And then after equipment, we have what look like two full stops together. It's called a colon. Because underneath this, we are going to write a list. Now, sometimes when we write a list, we use commas, but for this, we won't. For this, we will use bullet points because we are going to write the things one underneath the other. So here's my bullet point. It's like a big full stop. What things do we need to brush our teeth? I don't think you have to say that we need our teeth. I think we know that. But we will need water. Yeah. We will need a toothbrush. We will need toothpaste. And can you see, look, when I'm doing that, when we're writing the equipment down, each one gets a new line and a new bullet point. And that's just to make it really, really clear to the person that's reading it. So when they look, they can say, oh yeah, I need that, 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 and that. And then they can go and find them. So water, toothbrush, toothpaste, cool. And teeth, but we don't really need to write that down. If you didn't have teeth, you wouldn't be looking at how to clean them, would you? So how to brush your teeth. Equipment, water, toothbrush, toothpaste. Then what we need is underneath here, we are going to write the method. So we actually write the word method and we put those two dots, that colon, after it. So we start a new line and we write method, and then we put those two full stops next to each other, the colon. And then underneath that, we write how we do it. So I've just gone back and I've just underlined equipment and method, just to make it a bit clearer to read that these are the things you need and that these things we're going to write down here are the steps that you follow to get there. So far we had our title and then we've got our equipment, or if we were cooking, then we would write ingredients. Like if we were playing a game or something like that, we would still need this. We would still need the equipment because we might need we might need dice to play the game, or we might need a skipping rope to play the game. All of those things are covered under the word equipment. And then we've got the method and the how do we go about doing what we're doing. Now, there are a few things that you have to remember when it comes to writing your method. One, we're writing commands, so they are bossy. There are no pleases and thank yous in a set of instructions. Two, they have to be very clear and concise. So there's not lots of extra fluffy language unless it's needed. So if we're baking, sometimes we add a description of what it should look like at that point, but that's okay because that's needed, it's helpful. If it's not, we don't use it. They have to be in order because whoever is following your instructions is going to do this in order. So if you tell them to rinse their mouth before they've cleaned their teeth, they're not going to have very clean teeth, are they? Or at the end of it, they're going to have a mouthful of toothpaste, which wouldn't make for a very enjoyable day. So we need to think about exactly which order the steps go in. And instead of a bullet point for each one, this time we're going to give each one a number. And that will help us to remember that they have to stay in order. So point number 1. Now remember, it is a sentence, it is a command, so it will end with a full stop, it starts with a capital letter, and it will need finger spaces in between each of the words. So first of all, now that is the only word that we could start with other than the imperative verb. We could start with the word first. However, we don't need to because we're using numbers as bullet points. So we don't need to. We'll just use number 1. So what is the first thing that we need to do? Yeah, we need to get all of the equipment. Perfect. You remember what a capital G looks like? Get all of the equipment. I have to write really small to fit it on. Right, here we go. Look, so method underneath 1, get all of the equipment. Perfect. Next line down, number 2. What do we have to do next? Put toothpaste. Squeeze might be a better word than put, because if I say put to the toothpaste, they might just have the tube of toothpaste. They might just put it on top of the toothbrush. So squeeze, how much? Loads? Just a little bit. So squeeze a small amount of toothpaste onto your toothbrush. Okay, that's a slightly longer instruction. Are you ready? Squeeze a small amount of toothpaste onto your toothbrush. Okay, let's start then. So squeeze is our imperative verb there, isn't it? Squeeze a small amount of toothpaste. Well done. Squeeze a small amount of toothpaste onto your toothbrush. Brilliant. Well done. What does it need to end with? A full stop. And this one here is the perfect example of how we lay it out, because on this one I'd got to the end, so logically I would start here, whereas this one I haven't, there's still space, but because it's a new instruction it has a new line. So even though I only have the word toothbrush on this line, I'm still going to start a new line underneath it. So once we've done that, once we've got some toothpaste onto the toothbrush, right, wet the toothpaste on the toothbrush. Run the toothpaste under, oh no, that might be confusing. Swish the toothbrush under the water to wet the toothpaste, yeah? Or add some water on top of the toothpaste. That might be a good one, mightn't it? Add some water on top of the toothpaste. Add some water on top of the toothpaste. Cool. And then remember, number 4 will have a new line regardless of what's happening there. So add some water on top of the toothpaste. And then what do we have to do afterwards? Right, place the toothbrush. This is where we can use a conjunction. We can join an idea together. Place the toothbrush in your mouth and move backwards and forwards, brushing the toothpaste all over your teeth. Whew, that's a long one. So place the toothbrush into your mouth and move backwards and forwards, and move it. Let's be specific. Backwards and forwards. Move backwards and forwards and up and down over all of your teeth. Yeah? Now that is a long instruction, but that doesn't mean that there's any problem with that. So that 4th instruction, look, is really big, but that's okay because we had to give quite a lot of detail in order to know what we would have to do. Now, instruction number 5 will go underneath that. So once we've done that, we have to, can you just do it? Done. No. So continue to brush all of your teeth, front and back. So continue to rub the brush over all of your teeth for 2 minutes. Yeah? Perfect. Go on, then you have a go writing that down. Continue to rub the brush over all of your teeth for 2 minutes. Okay. No, step 5, but step 6. Step 6. Spit out the excess toothpaste. Or put water in your mouth and swish it around to rinse. And then I give you a chance to write 6 down as well. Put water in your mouth and swish it around. And then the last one, spit out the water. Yeah, Spit the water into the sink. Yeah. Oh, I nearly forgot. Finally, rinse your brush so that it's clean for the next time. And then we could put a little side note at the bottom and we could write, remember to brush your teeth twice a day. Couldn't we? We're still telling them what to do, but it's not necessarily in those things. It's in a wider context. Wow, you did an incredible job at that. You could do that for anything. So all you have to remember is that the title comes at the top. Sorry, I rubbed it out with my knee when I was trying to write on the back. Title comes at the top. That's first. It's what the instructions are for. Then equipment or ingredients if you're baking. And then we have a bullet point list. And then we have our method, and then we write the number, and then each of those sentences starts with an imperative verb. It's a command, so it's bossy. It tells us what to do. Because it's a command, it ends with a full stop. We only give detail where we need to, and they have to be in order. You did a really brilliant job at doing a longer piece of writing today. You could practice doing that for something else. Whatever you do the rest of your day, have a great one. Bye-bye. Hi, so today we are going to have a go at something really, really tricky. We are going to have a go at this, division, divide. We can use some of the information that we know about multiplication to help us with this, and indeed we are going to use arrays to help us work out the answers. You are going to need something to write with and something to write on today, so if you don't have those things, then pause it right now, find them, come back, and we can make a good start. So there are two signs that we need today. We need this one, which is the division one, the divide one. And then we will also need this one, which is one that we have used previously, which is equals. It just means equal or is the same as. So when it comes to dividing, we are looking at lots of. But instead of how many lots does it take to make a big number, what we're looking for is how many lots can I get out of that big number. So if my big number is 4, then I can get 2 lots of 2 out of my number. So 4 divided by 2, so 4 split into 2 groups is 2. There are 2 on each side. Let me show you that in slightly different colours to make it a little bit more obvious. I'm going to use a slightly different set of numbers. I think that might make it easier. So this time I am going to do, this is what I'm going to try and work out. I've got 6 divided by 2. So the way I am going to go about working it out is I am going to draw 6 dots split into 2 groups. But to start with, what I want to do is just show you really clearly in different colours, and then I will show you how I would actually use this method to work it out. But I just want it to be really obvious. So here, look, I've got 6 all together, and I've got half of them in this colour and half of them in this colour because I've divided it by 2. So I've got 2 columns. This is one group and this is the other group. So 6 divided by 2 is the same as 3. There are 3 here, there are 3 here. That's the same. So let me show you how I would actually go about doing it if I was going to use an array to help me work out division. So if I was going to do, let's keep it quite straightforward to start with. So if I was going to do 8 divided by 2, then I know I only want 2 groups. So I am going to start my 2 groups like this. And then I know that I need 8 in total. So I've got 1, 2. Then I'm going to add 3, 4. Can you see? Look, I added another one to each one. And then 5, 6. And then 7, 8. So I had my 2 groups and I just kept adding until I got to 8. And now what I need to do is count how many in each group. Remember that my group went down. Okay, so how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 8 divided by 2 equals 4. That's how I would go about using an array to help me work it out. So if I have this one this time, if this time my number sentence says this, then how many groups am I trying to split it into? Yeah, well done, 3, because it's divided by 3. So this time, can you draw 3 at the top for our 3 groups? So it looks like this. And then underneath, we're going to draw another row and we are going to count on from 3. So 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I don't need to do any more rows because I only needed to get to 6. So here we go. Look, I've divided it into 3 groups and I've got 2 in each group. So 6 divided by 3 equals 2. Well done. Corey, you're doing such a great job. So the second number, let me just highlight it. Look. The second number in our number sentence when we're doing division tells us how many lots we need. The first number tells us how many dots we need altogether when we're finished. And the answer will be how many go down. So now we've got that, we need to practice because it's a tricky thing to do. So can we have a go at doing 9 divided by 3? So write it down first, 9 divided by 3. That's it, well done. Remember that divided sign is like a little takeaway, but it's got a dot either side of it, top and bottom. 9 divided by 3, there it is. And then, well done. This one tells us how many groups. So we need 3 going across. 1, 2, 3 going across. And then we are going to keep going until we get to 9. So we've got 3 so far. So in the next row underneath, we've got 4, 5, 6. And then in the next row underneath, 7, 8, 9. Now, I will always choose a number that will be divisible. So it will always have the same number in each row. And if it doesn't, we've gone wrong somewhere. So 9 divided by 3 is how many? Yeah, well done. That's how divided by 3. So we count down. There are 3 in each one. So 9 divided by 3 equals 3. Well done. This is not easy and you're doing a really, really good job. Okay, let's see if we can go a little bit harder. Let's see if this time we can do 12 divided by 4. So this time, how many dots do you need going across? Well done, you need 4 going across. So let's do those first 4 and then I'll show you and then we can carry on the counting together. So we've got our 4 going across and then we're going to do 4 more underneath, counting on from 4. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it should look like that so far. We haven't got to 12, so we've got to continue for another row. 9, 10, 11, 12. Brilliant, we did. So remember, so far we've got our divided by 4 bit, which is how many going across. There are 4 that way. So we need to count down. How many are in each row? There are 3 in each row. So 12 divided by 4 equals 3. Brilliant. Well done. You are doing a really, really incredible job today because this is particularly tricky. Let's see if we can do 15 divided by 3. So 15 divided by 3 equals, so we're dividing by 3, so we need 3 groups. Well done. And now we need to count on, keep going underneath, row at a time until we get to 15. So far we have 3. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Well done. And then can you count how many are in each row? Well done. 15 divided by 3 equals 5. We had our 3 going across and each one ended up having 5 in it. Now, it is worth saying that I can actually use this array to do another division as well, because there will always be 15 there all together. So I'm going to write 15 divided by at the bottom. But this way I was dividing by 3. This way I'm dividing by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got 15 divided by 5 equals how many are in each row? In each column? 3. So in actual fact, I've got 15 divided by 3 equals 5 and 15 divided by 5 equals 3. I can use the array both ways round. It will help me know either. Ooh, let's see if we can have a go at doing a bit more of that. So we will do a number sentence and we'll do the array that goes with it, and then we'll see if we can match the number sentence to the other version. See if we can flip the array round and use it to do the other one. Right, let's see if we can do 21 divided by 7. 21 divided by 7. Yeah, so well done. You're going to need 7 groups going across, and then you need to keep counting until you get to 21. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And then count how many going down and just check that there are the same number in each row. How many going down? Perfect. And then can you flip it round? So here's my number sentence. Look, 21 divided by 7 equals 3. There's my array. And then can you flip it just a quarter turn and see if you can work out that one too? Remember, there are 21 there. You don't need to count them. So there are 21 there, but how many is it split into? And therefore, how many are left? Yeah, well done. 21 divided by 3 equals 7. If I do it this way around, I've got 3 groups and 7 in each row. Well done. Okay, let's do a different one. Let's try 18 divided by 6. So this time we are going to do 18 divided by 6. Okay, and then we'll see if we can find the associated facts afterwards as well. So 6 going across, well done. And then we're going to carry on counting up until we get to 18. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Brilliant. So do you have a number there? Do you have an answer? 18 divided by 6. How many in each row? Well done. There are 3 going down each time. And then what's the associated one? Can you do it without flipping it, or do you still need to flip it? It's not a problem if you do. So you know there are 18 there to start with. Well done. We just flip the other 2 numbers round. 18 divided by 3 equals 6. Well done. You're doing such an incredible job. Let's see if we can do another one. Let's see if this time we can do a big one. Let's do 42 divided by 7. So this time you're going to need 7 going across, and you're going to have to keep going until you get to 42. So write the number sentence down first so you don't forget it. 42 divided by 7. And remember that we are going to do 7 going across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we are going to keep going until we get to 42. That's a long old way. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Remember that it's super important to keep those rows going, because otherwise it can make it really difficult to see where you went wrong if you did. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. Whoa. And then count how many going down each time. If it's the same number each time, then brilliant. And then see if you can use that to flip the numbers for the other associated number fact. Brilliant, well done. Here we go then. 42 divided by 7 equals 6, and 42 divided by 6 equals 7. Right, I would like you to have a go at doing 45 divided by 5, and I'm going to do the same, and then you're going to spot my mistake. So 45 divided by 5, okay? So 45 divided by 5. So remember, you're going to keep going until you get to 45. Hope you left plenty of space, because it's quite a big one, it's quite a big number. So you've got to keep going until you get to 45. Oh, I told you it would go wrong, but it definitely did. Can you work out where? Yeah, you can see them, can't you? They're quite clear. That one there should not be there. And that one there should not be there. Instead, they should be here and here. And then in actual fact, it would be right, because you can see the rest of it is quite clear. And by leaving enough space around them, it does become quite clear. Can you then write the associated number facts that go with it, please? Well done. That was a big one. 45 divided by 5 equals 9. Therefore, 45 divided by 9 equals 5. Fantastic. That's really tricky. You can keep practicing, but you can use an array for multiplication and division. And when you're using it, you can flip it around either way to help you get the associated number fact. Well done. You did a great job. Whatever you do the rest of your day, have a great one. Bye-bye. Hi. If there is one thing that I love about being outside, it's bubbles. I think bubbles are brilliant and they can bring us so much joy. Now, if you have some bubbles, why don't you go and find them and you can join in with our investigating today as we go along. If you don't, it's fine. You'll still get the same understanding and I'll blow plenty so that you can get the enjoyment too. Now, with my regular bubbles, my bubble mixture and my bubble wand, I am blowing them, and when I blow it, what happens? How does my bubble wand work? My bubble wand works by pushing the air through the hole that's covered in the film. Can you see that it looks shiny? It's a bit drippy too, but it looks shiny. And when I blow, I'm pushing air through that shiny liquid, which gets caught in the hole. And that's why, if sometimes I only put my stick in a tiny bit, I can blow as hard as I want and it still won't make a difference. The whole of the circle bit, can you see, look, has to go underneath in order for it to get caught up in the little bits, and therefore in order for us to be able to make those beautiful bubbles. Now, it keeps having bits left behind. My wand has a different bit on the other end. It looks very similar, but this bit is smooth. Do you think that this bit would make bubbles in the same way as this bit? Why do you think that? Did you think it would? It did. It made smaller bubbles. Why would it make smaller bubbles? Yeah, because the end is smaller. Now this one is rigid, it's bumpy, and that's supposed to be so that it catches the bubble solution and you can make more bubbles. But it did indeed work through the other end. So I think you could probably make your own bubble wand. And although this might be bubble solution that I can buy, you can also make this with washing up liquid and water. It does the same thing. So the way that my bubble wand works is that it catches the bubbles, the air gets pushed through, and as the air gets pushed through, it fills the little bubbles, and then the bubbles go floating off because they're light, they're not very heavy. Now, I have another bubble wand. How do you think that this might create different bubbles to this one? It will depend very much on how I push the air through it. So remember, only the bits that go all the way underneath will get a full coating and therefore create bubbles. What did you notice? As I'm pushing the air through, these little ones at the bottom the little ones make little bubbles and the bigger ones make big bubbles. Now, I actually have a ginormous bubble wand. Now that won't work in the same way. I can't put that I can't dip that into a solution because it would need to be the biggest tub of solution ever, wouldn't it? But what I can do is I can pour my bubble solution into a flat tray, and then I can use that. So I still have to make sure that the whole thing is covered, and then it gets caught in all the little bits. So this creates quite a lot, but it's actually quite hard for me to blow the bubbles out of. Remember, it has to be a push. So it's a push of air that's going through the bubble wand that's going to make the bubble wand work, that's going to make the bubbles come out of it. So how else could I get the air to push through the bubble wand at any size, this one or this one or this one, that might make bubbles come out the other side? What do you think? I agree, but in order to do that, I need to move my chair. I think that if I were to wave my arms around, that would create a push of air through my wand. I didn't blow it once, and it's still making bubbles. Do we think it would work with the bigger one? In actual fact, it's quite windy today, and the wind is doing a bit of the work for me. But yes, if I swoosh through the air, it does indeed make bubbles. The wind can be its own push of wind. It doesn't need to be me blowing it. Now, I think that the push of the wind might be the best sort for this one. I think if I get some big old bubbles if I swoosh this one through the wind. Can you think of a way that I could make that faster? That I could create more bubbles? I could move, I absolutely could. Should we try it? Okay, let's try with the big one. So if I just stand still, I do make some quite cool bubbles, but they're not the biggest in the world. What about if I walk? I just lost all my bubbles because the wind started to blow. If I walk, look. Then I make quite a good selection. Now the wind is really blowing, so if I just hold it up, it will make bubbles all by itself. But I think that if we were to run, that we would make bubbles even better, even quicker. So let's see what we can do. Have to make sure that it's fully covered. Are you ready? I made so many bubbles. Now partly that's because my thing is huge, but I do think that the same would apply if we were to use a smaller one. So I think that if I just let it go in the wind, so if I just put the bubble wand in and I just let the wind blow, it is quite windy today, so it will blow bubbles, but it does not get all of those bubbles that we got when I blew it hard. I think if I were to walk around with it, then I would make quite a lot of bubbles, and I think if I were to run around with it, I would make even more bubbles. We're helped today by the fact that it is windy, but if it wasn't, we would need the force of us moving to make that more. Let's have a look. If I walk with it, or if I walk with the little one, that's not enough. But if I run with it, then it is. So I need quite a lot of force. Oh, that's interesting. I need quite a lot of force to make the bubbles come out of my little wand. But I didn't need quite a lot of force to make the bubbles come out of my ginormous wand. I wonder why. Here they are side by side. Why do you think that I need a bigger push to get the bubbles out of this one than I do out of this one? You're so clever. This one has a much bigger surface area, okay? There's much more space where the wind can catch hold of the bubble solution and go, and for it to come out. Whereas in this one, or this one, there's not a lot of space for the wind to catch hold of it and blow it out to make those bubbles. So if what I want to do is to create loads of bubbles in the wind, or by running with a big push from the air resistance, then I need my big bubble wand. But if I want to be able to blow bubbles, and I want to create the best bubbles with my mouth, then I need a little one. Or maybe not tiny, this one was better. But I need a smaller one if I want to be able to blow it, because my mouth, the air that I can push out throughout my mouth, can't change. I can't make it be really big so that it can do the paw print one. And the same with the wind. I can't make the wind be really little to blow through the little ones really well either. I can move it with more force, and that does help it along its way, but it doesn't make it a great way of doing it. If you have bubbles, maybe you could do some investigating and see how big a bubble you can make. You know that if you want to make a really big bubble, that there is not much point in making or using a really little bubble wand. But maybe you could use string or pipe cleaners, and you could create a bubble wand with a big old hole in it, and that way you would be able to create a big bubble. If you wanted to create a big bubble, would you want to blow it, or would you want to push it, or let the wind push it itself if it was a particularly windy day? Absolutely, you would want the wind to do the work for you, or for that push motion with your arm, because otherwise it won't work. And you also have to remember that it has to be covering all of this area. It has to catch onto the whole of the edge, and we have to be able to see it so it's a bit shiny in order for it to work. We also need to make sure that we're fairly gentle with a really big bubble, because it has quite a big surface area. It also is much more likely to pop. I'm going to carry on playing with the bubbles that are around in the garden today. I hope that you can use some washing up liquid and water, and you can create your own bubbles, or you can have an investigate with bubbles that you have. Whatever you do the rest of your day, have a great one. Bye bye.
Hello Angel students. Today I want to talk to all my empowered explorers, because this lesson is all about being an independent researcher, doing research for yourself, critical thinking, asking the right questions, and being able to decide whether what you are told versus what you believe based on your own research, and how best to go about that. Let's get started. So I want us to embark on a journey of understanding the power of independent research and how important it is in understanding this world around us. So to begin with, have you ever heard of Isaac Newton, or perhaps Albert Einstein. And why do I ask you about those two in particular? Well, Isaac Newton was a mathematician and physicist, and he came up with the laws of motion and universal gravitation. And Isaac Newton's work is renowned. Most people know his name, and if they don't know his name, we certainly know physics, maths, and the laws of gravity. And I also mentioned Albert Einstein, who is quoted many times across the World Wide Web. And Albert Einstein was a theoretical physicist, and his laws helped many to understand space, time, and gravity in a whole different way. He basically revolutionized it and gave it a different level of understanding. But still, why do I mention those two particular individuals? I mention them because those two men were independent thinkers, independent researchers. They saw what they were taught, what they were told, what everybody believed about gravity, about physics, about theory, about space, time, all of those things. Yet they still had a desire, a want, a need to do their own research into those things. And had they not, we wouldn't have or use the theories that we do today, because they literally altered physics. They literally altered the way that we saw things. The possibilities that we saw were limited until they came along and said, well, actually, if we did it like that, or if you looked at it from this perspective, or have you ever thought about this as another possible solution? And then they made history. So I ask you, how often are you told something, or do you see something, or do you watch something and that's it? That's it. Okay, so that must be right. That must be the truth. That must be the theory. That must be exactly how it works. And you just take that for truth or the right answer. How many times are you likely to dig a bit deeper, try to understand on another level, do your own research, ask your own questions, and come up with possible alternatives or solutions? How often do you feel that you do that, if you do it at all? And on a side note, if you do, where does that come from? Why do you do that? There must be some kind of enjoyment there. To explore that is to know yourself even more and to have a greater awareness of who you are, which is a great thing. And if you don't already research things more, investigate more, ask more questions, again, why is that? Is it that you don't have the time to do it? Is it that you have other things that you're committed to doing? Because that's perfectly fine. However, when you are passionate about something, when you really want to know everything that there is to know about something, the best way to do that is to do your own research, ask your own questions. And if there's no one around you that has the knowledge or has been in the position that you are trying to understand, you can research. We are in an age of pure information. It's everywhere, whether it be on apps, whether it's on the internet, on websites or books. There is a famous saying that says, if you want to keep the truth from someone, put it in a book. So I encourage you, if there's anything that you are curious about, if there's anything that you want to deepen your knowledge about, that you want to expand your mind about, that you do some research and see what you come up with. After all, you could become the next Isaac Newton or Albert Einstein. So when you are doing your research, be as careful as you possibly can. And what I mean by that is to make sure where you're getting your information from is a good source, a reliable source, a believable source of information. So that as you do your research and you make your notes and you log all of the things that you are learning and you apply them to whatever it is that you're wanting to do the research for in the first place, that you have information that you know is sound information. You are sure that this information is from a credible source. So if you were to look up facts of information, you would go to somewhere like an encyclopedia or a place where you know this information is likely to be a very credible source because of where it's coming from. For example, if you were to do a Google search, you have a list of different options. So you want to be sure that you're taking the time out, you're giving it your all, and you're giving it your attention. So if you were to do a Google search, for example, you know that they come up in a list. So you're not just going to go with the very first one and only look at that one and then that's it, all my research is done, I'm finished, I know it. You want to look at different sources of information, because in doing that you can also compare them, and when you compare them you may come up with further questions. You may have other things that you want to research in a more deeper way so you have a better understanding. So as always, I want to give you some tips on how best to research, how best to come up with the most credible, truthful, reliable information for your own understanding of any subject that it is that you want to further research. So, are we ready? Number one, be clear about what you want to get from this research. Why are you doing this? So I'll give you an example of something that you might research. So for me, for example, I have a plant that I was gifted that I absolutely love, that I was very grateful for, but it hasn't been doing too well. And that's okay, because I can research how I can bring it back to life, make it look alive again. And my objectives for that, my reasons for that are very simple. The plant needs help, and I need the right information from a reliable and good source where I can learn how to do that. So the best way for me to begin that would probably be, what kind of questions would I want to ask? And a question that I might want to ask could be a symptom, something that I can physically see that is wrong with the plant. And I could ask, well, why do the leaves look like this? How do I help to get this plant back to life? And in asking certain questions, it makes it very clear to you what your goal is, what your purpose is for doing this research in the first place. So be very clear and have as much detail as possible about exactly what you want to get out of this research. So imagine your research is there. This is all your research. All your research is here. There's loads of it because there's lots of information. We're in an information age. You can get information from almost anywhere, and there's so much. So you have to sift through, you have to look through, you have to pull out the bits that make sense and that are useful for you. So how do we do that? Well, if you are very clear and you have specific points about what it is exactly that you want to know and why, you will be able to see those things as soon as you come across them, extract them out, put them clear on a list for you to be able to go back to and have a look at, and then you can compare everything and further understand what it is you are researching. Tip number 2. When you have got all your different sources of information and you've got all your different bits of information from all of those different places, it's time to put them in order. So whatever questions you had, whatever reasons you had, and whatever the goal at the end of all your research is, you can put them into categories. And once you've put them into categories, you can then begin to have it into a type of flow that makes sense to you. So, okay, I wanted to know this and I've got these 3 points. You could perhaps squeeze it all into one so that it's easier for you to understand and refer back to. And what this does is it improves your ability to gather information, extract information from that research, and still maintain a high level of critical thinking and critical analyzing of information, because you're able to pull bits out that formulate the solution of the research that you are doing. And last but never least, number 3, which is actually my favorite. It's my favorite one. You know I always have a favorite. Number 3 is you improve your thinking. That's it. You improve your thinking. You improve your thinking because you have to think, does this help me? Do I need this? Is this useful? How can I use this? How does this further my understanding? And as you do that, you never know. You could stumble on something and then you think, never thought about that. I might want to research that part even more. And you just continue and you continue. Your knowledge knows no end. There are no limits. You can just keep going and keep going and keep going. Now, one of the ways to really make this work for you is to take your time. Take your time. Take moments where you just pause. And you pause so that you can understand everything you have just learned, everything you have just researched. You can then go back, look over it, and make sure it makes sense to you. If you had to share that information with someone else, you would be able to share it based on the research that you've done. Research has given you a deeper understanding of that particular subject. What it also helps you to do is not just have one way of looking at something, because everything has different sides. Even us, looking at the screen, you can only see this side, the front of me, but we have this side, and we have behind me. There's always different sides to different things, and we call that perspective, how we view things, how people look at things, because everybody looks at things differently. You could have one object and 5 different people, and you ask them what they see, and they may not all see the same thing. Have you ever looked at those pictures where it's one picture, but there are different things in the picture? You might see one thing, somebody else sees something else, and then you've got people that can see both. It's kind of like that. So when you have this level of critical thinking and research, because you have pulled out information from different sources, you are able to look at all of those different views, different perspectives, different ways of looking at things, and therefore you are only basing your research on facts. You're not basing it on how you feel about it or what you think about it or what this person thinks about it. You've laid it out in facts. And the fun thing about that is once you have done all of this and you have gained knowledge on something that you have researched yourself independently, you can then go on and share it with others. And you can then look at how they see it, what their point is on it, how they look at it, what they think about it. And you never know. You could be teaching someone something completely new and they could share their opinion about it with you, and you could learn something even further. So have a think about what you would want to independently research, how you would do it, what your goals are for doing it, and then what you learn at the end of it. And have fun with it. Add colour, add pictures, add whatever you want, whatever makes it exciting, whatever makes it into more of a story, because then that actually helps you to remember. So enjoy, have fun, explore, research, and remember to always ask questions. Goodbye, Angel students.
Hello. Here's the video for Angel School. Let's practice reading exercise. Breathing in through your nose, collecting all the good energy into your body. Breathing out, relax your shoulders, the elbow, hands push all the way down. One more time, breathing in and breathing out. Let's do a quick exercise for the joints, wrists and ankles. Feel the movement change. And exercise your knee joint. 1, 2, 3, change. 1, 2, 3, change. 1, 2, 3. Relax your hips. 1, 2, 3. Change. 1, 2, 3. Keep your elbow up and stretch out as far as you can. 1, 2, 3, 4. Change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What your elbow look like? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Arms. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, relax your back. Neck. Shoulders. 1, full circle. 2, 3, change. 1, 2, 3. Good. Let's do a quick marble stretch. Pushing it up, breathe in. 1, breathing out in your body. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Kumbu stretch. One leg bent, one leg straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes. So last session we practiced, we finished block and punch. So we're gonna carry on practice 2 more movements. So from here, your right leg in the front, punch your left hand, and stamp like upcut. Here, upcut. Then marble, face on your waist. Yeah. Both leg bend. Gumbo. Both hand punch. Yeah. Marble. Change to gumbo. Okay. Try again. Right leg in the front. And left leg stamp. 1. Marble. Bring your face to your waist. And gumbo. Yeah. Let's practice 3 more times. So right leg in the front, left leg stamp. 1, facing your waist, and punch. Good. 2 more times. So combo, left leg stamp, marble, and combo. time. Stamp, marble, and gumbo. So exactly same, but this time that we have the right leg in the front, yeah? So this time left leg in the front, same, stamp, yeah, then marble, and then gumbo. Exactly same, just different direction. So here, 1, step forward, 2, and 3. Yeah, here marble, gumbo. Okay, punch. 3 more times. Left leg in the front. 1, upcut. 2, marble. 3, punch. 2 more times. 1, 2, 3. 1 more time. Gumbo punch, stamp, marble, gumbo. Okay. So let's start from the beginning, yeah? So we're gonna start from the beginning, practice 3 times. Inhale, hands up. And exhale. 1, clench your face. Elbow straight. Marble block, gumbo punch, strike, kick your right leg, and right leg forward, right elbow block, and punch. Then feet together, right hand block, face on your waist, kick your right leg again, and this time, same. Right hand block again and punch. Yeah, from here, upcut. That's what we just did, yeah? Upcut, marble, and change the gumbo. Let's do 2 more times. And this time, slightly a little bit forward. Inhale, hands up. And exhale. 1, 2, marble. Relax your hips. Punch. 1, 2, 3, then 4, block. 5, kick. Punch, stamp, marble, and punch. Yeah, and stop. Inhale. And exhale. 2 more times. One more time, sorry. Inhale. And exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this time let's do face different directions. Slightly a little bit challenging, but it's good for your coordination. Inhale, hands up. And exhale. Clench your fist. Elbow strike. Marble. Block. And punch. Strike. Kick. This time left elbow block. And punch your right hand. And left hand block. Stand up. Kick your left leg. Left hand block. Then punch your right hand. And stamp. Stamp your right leg. Then marble. Yeah. So step your foot forward. Marble lower. Then punch. Yeah. 2 more times. This time slightly a little bit power. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stand. Forward. Try last time. Inhale, hands up. And exhale. Clench your fist, elbow strike. 1, marble, block, punch, strike, kick, block, and punch. Left hand block, kick your left leg, block, then punch. From here, right leg stand, left hand, upcut. Then bend 2 knees, face on your waist, then punch. Yeah, both fist, punch. From here, stop. Inhale, hands up. And exhale. Let's practice breathing exercise. Or in 2 foot points. Foot point straight, head up. Breathing in through your nose. Collecting all the good energy to repair your body. Like healing power. Breathing out. Relax your shoulders, elbow, hands pushing all the way down. Feel like you're going to touch the floor. 2 more times. Last one. Breathing in and breathing out through your nose. Okay. And let's finish here today.
Please like and subscribe so you can get more and more lessons.